Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome once again to the Practical English brand. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you the present infinitive passive form. See, it's my obligation to speak as slowly as possible, as clearly as possible. Why? Because I want every student to understand my explanation. That's the main reason, okay? So, present infinitive passive form. Obviously, it's a part of the most advanced grammar, okay? I mean, if you just use infinitive, active form in sentences, that's kind of intermediate grammar. But the passive form, present, and then we have past infinitive active form and past infinitive passive form. Of course, I mean, these grammatical points are a part of the most advanced grammar. So now look, again we can use the same infinitive verbs, and the structures are different. I'm gonna explain the structures. Look at the first structure. Subject, infinitive verb, to be, transitive verb, third form, and then rest of the sentence. Here I want to tell you that we cannot use intransitive verb. Why? Because it is passive form. The subject of the sentence is the receiver of the action, not the doer of the action. Okay? See, so transitive verb third form, and it should be action verb. Because you already know that stative verbs are commonly not used in passive form. Okay? Action verbs are used in passive form. So the verb, the main verb over here, which shows the action of the subject, okay, should be number one, action verb, number two, transitive verb, or ditransitive verb, double transitive verb. But it cannot be a state verb or intransitive. Understood? Okay. So now look at the first example. He expects to be given a prize. So what is he according to our structure? Subject. What is expect? Infinitive verb form in simple present tense, right? And what is to be? A helping verb. To be is used here as helping verb. And what is given? Transitive verb third form. The main verb here is in third form because it's passive form. And a prize is rest of the sentence. Now, this is the action. This is the main verb which shows action in this sentence. But what do you think? Is the subject he the receiver of this action or the doer of this action? Not the doer of the action. So the action is done by someone else. But the by phrase is not mentioned here. Why? Because the focus, according to this sentence, is on the receiver of the action, not on the doer of the action. Understood? So he expects to be given a prize. By whom? It's not important. What is important? Okay. The action of receiving a prize is important. Okay. So the focus is more here on the receiver of the action and the action itself. Okay. So now there could be a by phrase. Well, there could be a by phrase. You may stop the sentence here and just say, you know, he expects to be given a prize. You may say he expects to be given a prize by his manager, by his employer, by the company for which he works, by, you know, his teacher, by his father, by someone, right? There could be a by phrase. But most of the times, according to, you know, this structure or in these kind of sentences, the by phrase is kind of left out. It's not mentioned most of the times, okay? You got the point? According to the second structure, after the infinitive verb form, we have an object. And that object is the receiver of the action, okay? So look at the structure. Look at the sentence. What is he? Subject. What is expect? Infinitive verb form. So what is his brother? Object. It's object. And to be, helping verbs. To be, helping verbs. And given a transitive verb in third form, and that's the rest of the sentence. Okay? Now look, he expects his brother to be given a prize. Is the subject of the sentence the receiver of this action? No. The object of this sentence, his brother, is the receiver of this action. So here, I mean, according to the first example, he expects to be given a prize. A prize should be given by somebody to him, okay? But here, he expects his brother to be given a prize, okay? So the prize should be given by somebody to his brother, not to him, okay? So according to the second structure, the object is the receiver of the action. Okay. Now, one more thing that I want to mention here is that the verb form over here could be in simple past tense, it could be in simple future tense, it could be in a different tense, okay? It doesn't have to be always in simple present tense. But still, even if we say he expected, instead of he expects, he expected, okay? Or he will expect, or he is expecting, okay? Still, I mean the present infinitive passive form starts from here. To be plus past participle verb third form is present infinitive passive form. You got it? To be helping verbs and main verb. Okay, so to be given, to be taken, to be told, okay? So it is the present infinitive passive form. Tense doesn't matter. Don't be confused here. If you say simple past tense, present infinitive passive form and then simple past tense, it's okay. You can use present infinitive passive form in simple past tense, in simple future tense, or in simple present tense. You got it? You got it?
Yes.
Your tense could be any tense, right? Just, most commonly infinitive verbs are not commonly, most of them, not all of them, are commonly not used in continuous tenses, okay? But sometimes they could be used in continuous tenses as well, okay? And look at the other structure, the same thing over here. Subject plus to be verb, is, are, was, were, will be, is be going to be, if it's a future tense, if it's past and was, were, and is, are, if it's present tense. And then adjective, and after adjective you bring to be as helping verbs, okay? And then transitive verb in third form, the rest of the sentence. So look at the example. She is our subject. Is to be verb, right? Happy, adjective. To be, helping verbs, okay? Called, main verb, transitive verb in third form, okay? That's the main verb. And an intelligent student, that's the rest of the sentence. Again, the by phrase is hidden here. According to these kind of sentences, usually the by phrase is not mentioned. Why? Because focus is on the receiver of the action most of the times, not on the doer of the action. Okay? So therefore, the by phrase is usually hidden. It's not mentioned. But if you think that the action was done by a specific person, and to whom you're talking, that person needs to know by whom the action was done, in that case, you may use the by phrase. You got it? Yes. For example, you say, my brother was happy to be given a promotion by his boss, by his company, by his director, by his manager, okay? So you want to specify the doer of the action. Understood? You got the point? Everything is clear?
Yes.
Any questions? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, so everything is clear, right? Look at these verbs. And you learned how to use a present infinitive passive form, right? Where does it start? It starts where? After to be. To be plus past participle. This is present infinitive passive form. The tense over here doesn't matter. Your infinitive verb form, the reason I've written, VF, verb form in the structure, is that it could be any form. It could be negative form. It could be positive form. It could be interrogative form. Now look, you can change the sentence to negative. He doesn't expect to be given a prize. Negative sentence, right? And you can say, does he expect to be given a prize? Interrogative form, right? And how does he expect to be given a prize? if he's not a hard-working employee, for example, right? So now it could be, affirmative form or positive form, could be negative form, it could be negative interrogative, it could be information question form, WH question form, okay? So there could be different forms. And one more thing I want to tell you is that you can make your sentence negative right here. Right here, instead of, changing this verb to negative form, you can use not before not to be. Okay? I expect not to be given a prize. Okay? I expect not to be given a hard time. I mean, this sentence is more logical, okay? I expect not to be given a hard time. I expect her not to be given a dirty look. Okay? So, got the point? Okay. So, it's possible to use not, and I mean, it's more formal to say not to be, okay? It's more formal. But if you hear a native speaker, an American, saying, I expected to not be given, okay? So that will be informal. That will be informal. According to grammar, according to formal English, we use not to be, okay? To not be, that will be, or to be not, or to not be, okay, that's informal. I hope you get the point. So you can make your sentences negative here, you can make them negative here. Examples. Everybody, yep.
He hopes to be sent to paradise.
He hopes to be sent to the paradise. His example is correct, right? By Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's obvious, right?
Afghans expect to be given more electricity by government.
Afghans expect to be given more electricity by Tajikistan or Uzbekistan. Okay. Mm-hmm.
He will be happy to be called Haji.
Yeah, he will be happy to be called Haji. Yeah, you will be proud to be called Wardak. What's your name?
Ilham.
Ilham Wardak. He will be proud to be called Ilham Wardak. Right? Yep. Come on. Yep.
I hope to be helped for final exam.
Yeah, with the final exam. I hope to be helped with the final exam. Yep.
He was angry to be omitted by and from peace negotiation group by president.
He was angry to be omitted his name.
Yeah. From peace negotiation group by president.
Yeah, he was angry to be left out. Okay. From the peace negotiation or something, or to be, if you want to be like kind of, very informal, he was angry to be kicked out of the peace negotiation group. Why? Yeah.
He hoped to be selected for peace negotiation.
Yeah, he hoped to be selected. Yeah.
Customers demand the company to be produced more goods.
No. Why? Because goods here, the noun goods becomes the receiver of the action. Okay? So the company hopes the company itself should be the receiver of the action. Look, for example, the company, you said the company, right?
Customers.
Yeah, the customers hope to be given more attention. The customers demand to be given a discount. Look, to whom will the discount be given according to this sentence? To the customers. So the customers is the subject of your sentence, right? But it is passive form. So now, according to this sentence, the customers demand to be given a discount, right? The subject becomes the receiver of the action and not the doer of the action. By whom? By that business, by that company, by that business, whatever, by that store, okay? Yep.
He is happy to be chosen as a director manager.
Yeah, he is happy to be chosen, to be selected as a manager or as a director. Mm-hmm.
All students want to be taught by strong teachers.
All students want to be taught by strong teachers. Perfect.
I'm happy to be given scholarship.
I'm happy to be given a scholarship. Or I'll be happy to be given a scholarship. So what does it mean if you want to change it to active form? If somebody gives me a scholarship in the future, I'll be happy about it. If somebody gives me a scholarship in the future, I'll be happy about it. Okay? She's proud to be called an intelligent student. So now if somebody calls her an intelligent student, if somebody says that she's an intelligent student, she is happy about that. Okay? So that is the idea in active form. Okay? In passive form, why? Because the by phrase is usually hidden according to these sentences. Maybe for some students it becomes kind of confusing, but there should not be any confusion. I told you, I explained everything in very simple words. Okay, the subject, according to the first structure, the subject is the receiver of the action. According to the second structure, the object is the receiver of the action. But there's still by phrase. It may or may not be mentioned. There's by phrase. The action was done by somebody. Okay. So sometimes you may mention the by phrase, sometimes you may not. If the focus is more on the receiver of the action, you may not mention the by phrase. Okay? But if it's also important to know, or the second person wants to know by whom the action was done, in that case you may mention the by phrase as well. Okay? And according to the third structure, again, the subject of the sentence is the receiver of the action and not the doer of the action. A few more examples and then we're going to be done. Yep.
We expect our country to be improved soon.
We expect our country to be, improved, to be supported by the rest of the world, right? Yeah.
He promised his father to be eaten a pizza.
He promised
His father to be eaten
to be eaten pizza? No. Why? Because pizza becomes the receiver of the action. He promised his father should be the receiver of the action. He promised his father to be taken abroad for treatment, to be taken to India for treatment, for example. He promised, look, his father was sick. His father was sick. And he promised his father to be taken to India for treatment. By whom will he be taken to India? By him. By him. Or by his other sons. Right? So by phrase, by whom he will be taken to India is not very important according to the sentence. Okay? The receiver of the action is important. So if you want to use the second structure, the object should be the receiver of the action. According to your sentence, he promised his father. His father should be the receiver of the action. But you say to be eaten pizza, so now pizza becomes the receiver of the action. That doesn't make sense. That's incorrect, right? Okay, so he promised his father to be taken to India for treatment. He promised his father to be given, for example, something. He promised his father to be taken good care of, for example. He promised his father to be respected a lot by him, by his other sons. You got it? Yeah. Don't be confused. I know it's a part of the advanced grammar and it's kind of sometimes confusing, but just think about, the structures. The subject must be the receiver of the action. The object here must be, you do not need any other, object over there to be the receiver of the action. Like, to be eaten pizza. Okay, pizza becomes like third. You have another object, his father, his brother, there. And again, the subject is the receiver of the action and not the doer of the action. Yep.
I'm happy to be given the scholarship.
I'm happy to be given the scholarship. Mm-hmm.
I expect Taliban not to be freed from jails.
I expect Taliban not to be freed from the jail. Okay. I expect all of the Taliban to be freed, to be released. Why? Because otherwise there won't be peace in our country. Peace is more important than hostility, and right? Okay, anyways, come on. Mm-hmm.
Habib Nurmahmadov is proud to be called champion.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Habib Muhammadov is proud to be called a champion. Okay, that's perfect.
We expect our country to be secured as soon as possible.
To be secured as soon as possible. We expect our country to be secured. See, there are a lot of other verbs. He claims He claims to be given a Fulbright scholarship. She claims to be invited to a conference by the president of the country. So it's like claiming, right? So there are many other deserve, He deserves to be what? He deserves to be called a strong teacher, a strong student, right? He deserves, she deserves to be given a lot of attention. Some lovely examples, right? Because you're, right, teenagers or adults. So you like these kind of examples, right? She deserves to be given a lot of attention. By whom? By her husband, for example. Yep, according to our culture. Because we don't have boyfriend, girlfriend in our culture, right?
Ashraf Ghani claims to be called the second thinker of the world.
Ashraf Ghani hopes to be called or deserves to be called the second thinker of the world. Ashraf Ghani deserves to be called the champion of peace, right? Mullah Biradar Akhun also deserves to be called the champion of peace. Okay? Okay, yes, come on. Finished? Examples finished? Yep.
He deserves to be fined by traffic police.
He deserves?
To be fined.
Oh, yeah, to be fined by the traffic police. Yeah, why? Because he drives his car carelessly, for example. Yep, enough, this much. Have a great time, everybody, and see you later. Bye-bye.